How's it going, everyone? This is going to be the first of a two-part series where I talk more about making videos on a long-distance hike. So real quick, let me just tell you about my experience with making videos and with long-distance hiking. In 2015, I thru-hiked the Appalachian Trail northbound all the way from the summit of Springer Mountain in Georgia to Mount Katahdin in Maine. Then in 2016, I lived in Australia for a year, and while I was there, I hiked the Larapinta Trail from end to end. That trail is about 140 miles long, and it's basically right in the center of the country. In 2021, I attempted to thru-hike the Pacific Crest Trail northbound, which goes from the US-Mexico border all the way to the border with Canada, but I ended up only hiking about 600 miles of it. Most of that was in the desert of Southern California. I made videos from all three of those treks, and really those are the three longest trips that I've been on, but I've also done several overnight hikes that I've made videos for as well. I've definitely learned a lot after making videos from all these adventures, and hopefully this video and the next one in this series will help other creators out there that are also looking to make videos on their hikes. I do have a professional background in video production. I actually went to school for it, and before I hit the AT in 2015, I worked in video production for several years. I also worked in video production in Australia when I lived down there for a year, and I just bring all that up just to highlight the fact that there can be a bit of a learning curve when it comes to making videos. That can vary a lot based on how you choose to edit your videos, but if you're the type of person that doesn't like working with computers or technology, then I think it's safe to say that you're just not going to like making videos about your thru-hike. But don't let that discourage you at all. Technological advances, especially in phones, are making it much easier and easier to make videos from the trail. Definitely consider what you're getting yourself into when it comes to making videos, but I think what's most important is that you come up with a plan on how you can make videos that match your skill and ability. This way you're not getting in over your head, or you're not overwhelming yourself with stresses that could come with making videos. Before I go any further in this video, let me just say that I am not an expert. There is no right or wrong way to make vlogs or to edit video. And really, you don't even have to edit your videos. You could just take your weekly vlog, your daily vlog, or however often you're going to upload videos. You could just literally hit record on the camera, record what you're going to say, and just upload that entire raw clip. You don't have to edit your videos. You can spend as much or as little time as you want on making videos. It's completely 100% up to you. Again, there's no right or wrong way to make vlogs or to edit videos. Just always keep that in mind. So alright, now we'll get into some questions to ask yourself. So if you're thinking about vlogging or making videos about your thru-hike, the first thing you need to do is ask yourself why you want to do this. A thru-hike by itself is a beautiful thing, and before you get into the specifics of how to make a video and all that, I think it's important to spend a good amount of time answering why it is you want to make videos about your hike. Obviously, you need to know why you're thru-hiking, but there might be a different reason for why you're wanting to make videos about your hike. Maybe you just want to share your trip with friends and family. Maybe you think this will help out your career or your business in some way. Or maybe you think that by putting videos out there, it's going to help give you some confidence. Whatever it is, I think it's important that you think through this question before you start uploading videos. All right, so another question to ask yourself is this: is making a vlog going to get in the way of you completing your hike? This is definitely another one to think on for a minute, and also I think it's important to revisit this question throughout the duration of your hike. If you feel like creating videos is starting to become a burden on you, then you should change how you're going about it. You might decide that you need to reduce the amount of videos you make, you change the way you're going about making the videos, or you might decide to stop making the videos altogether. You should always put the responsibilities that are necessary for your hike above the responsibilities that you've created for your videos. Look, I'm just trying to lay out a bunch of things that I think are good things to consider before you start making videos, and my main point is really just think about the amount of work that it might take to make these videos happen. And again, that kind of depends on how you go about making videos. And I think there's generally 4 different ways that you can make videos about your thru-hike. So I'm going to list those 4 different ways now, and I'll talk about the pros and cons of each number that I created. Number 1, you upload your videos post-trail. So basically you go on your hike, you shoot whatever you want, and then you edit it all after you're done with your hike. That's what I did on my first thru-hike on the AT and also on the Larapinta Trail in Australia. So getting into some of the pros and cons for that one, you just do your hike and you just shoot whatever you want. That's a huge pro. You don't have to worry about when the next video needs to be uploaded or any of that. Some of the cons could be there's kind of a learning curve with video editing and having a big project like that. And I mean, I guess this could be seen as a con, is that are you really the type of person that's gonna sit down and edit this big project? Or is it just gonna be a bunch of video that just sits on your hard drive and is never gonna get shared with the world? So yeah, just things to think about for that one. Number 2, upload videos from the trail. And first things first with this one, be careful if you're gonna do this. I highly recommend that you sunset or delay your uploads by at least a couple weeks, because there are creepy people out there. Don't be, advertising where you are on the trail and what day it is. I mean, you never know if somebody's watching who is obsessed with you or something and is deciding to like meet you out, and all of a sudden you got a weird person out there following you around. You don't want that. So just use common sense. Editing videos from the trail, you're gonna most likely be using your phone. I mean, unless you're willing to haul a laptop up the trail, you're gonna be using your phone to edit. And I've done that, and personally, I really think editing videos with a phone sucks. It's just not there yet. The technology is just not there. I mean, a lot of people can get by with it, but to me, it's really frustrating. The type of edits that I do on a phone would take me like 30 minutes, when on a computer I can do it in like, 5 or 10 minutes. So editing on a phone really just makes me want to throw my phone. So that's why I'm not really a big fan of editing videos from the trail and making videos from the trail. That being said, a lot of thru-hikers are vlogging and editing their videos from the trail using just their phones nowadays. And also, there's nothing that says that you can't upload videos from the trail and then turn around and also create something with all your videos after the trail. That's actually what I did on the PCT. I released videos from the trail, and then when I was done with my hike, I used all that video to create a documentary for it. So yeah, kind of the pros and cons, I kind of already went over them, but the pro would be that you have much more timely uploads. And a big con is just that you're going to have to deal with editing and posting from the trail. And I think that can kind of take away from the experience of the thru-hike. So another option here is just to release it only to family. So you still edit from the trail and stuff, but you're not really like cutting out anything that you maybe don't want to put online, and you're just sharing your experience with friends or family. And the way you could do that is just still upload it to YouTube and everything, and just list it as unlisted, or just have a private YouTube channel that other family members have the password for, and they can get on and check your videos too. And it's just like your videos are just available to friends and family. You don't have to create a big, try to grow a big YouTube audience or anything like that. You could just have this released to friends and family. Video is a great way to share your experience with others. I really do believe that, but you don't have to like share it with the whole world. You could just share this with certain people. Number 3 is you pay someone to edit your videos. So you could do this from the trail if you wanted to upload it to some cloud storage thing and they could download it, or you could like physically mail them an SD card or a hard drive. I mean, it can definitely be done. I'm pretty sure some of the larger YouTube hikers and stuff, I'm pretty sure that they have editors that they utilize. In fact, if you're looking for a good video editor, you could pay me to do it. I'm always looking for freelance video production work, so definitely hit me up. Maybe we can work something out. Number 4, have a mobile support crew. Yeah, this is kind of rare. Have someone follow along with you and edit the footage from a mobile editing station, like a van or something. I got notes here, so I'm looking at all this, but I mean, it really doesn't take much equipment to edit videos nowadays. I'm editing all my videos from a 6-year-old MacBook Pro. So, I mean, yeah, this is definitely possible. I actually got this idea from meeting someone on the AT. It was an older guy, and his wife was she was traveling around in an RV, and she would meet up with him like every 3 or 4 days, or at like a trail crossing or something. She was just doing it just to hang out with her husband, but she would bring like really fresh food for him to eat as well. But I was thinking to myself, like, man, that would be the way to do it. If you had like a mobile editing station, which I mean really is just a laptop, you could easily make that happen. Yeah, that would be kind of the ideal way to do it if you have, unlimited money and resources. Just hire somebody to follow you along in a van. So let's get into some tips and recommendations. These are just my opinions. If it's your first long distance hike, I recommend that you edit and upload your videos after you're done with your hike. Just film your hike, man. Have fun. Shoot whatever you want. Don't worry about putting it online until after you're done. I mean, it really does. As somebody who's done it both ways, it really does make it less stressful. I mean, never that I was really stressed out with my videos, but just always like, it's just another thing to think about. And when you're on the trail, you just don't want to, I mean, my opinion, I just want to like focus on the trail and being on the trail. I don't really like, I don't think I would do it again like that. Maybe I would, I don't know. If you're really committed to uploading videos from the trail, try to make the videos that you're going to release from the trail, try to make it as least amount of work as possible. You know, don't try to like edit them or package them too much. You're just going to be spending too much time editing that. And my voice is going out. All right, another tip is just use your phone, especially if it's your first through hike. You can take your Red Dragon on your second through hike, all right? I think phones are the future for video creation. Arguably, they already are. I mean, it's everywhere. People are already kind of used to seeing like cell phone quality videos anyways. You're gonna most likely be carrying one on your through hike. I mean, this is being shot on a cell phone. My PCT documentary was shot on a cell phone. I think the quality turned out, you know, good enough. Phone technology is advancing rapidly. Sony has a phone out right now that has a 1-inch sensor on it. It's pretty crazy. I think it's the Sony Xperia Pro I. It's just crazy the amount of technology that they can pack into these little things. But yeah, that's my recommendation. Just use your phone. Another tip is use a microphone with a windscreen. You know what a windscreen is, right? I even brought one. It looks like this. It'll help block the wind. This is just a regular lavalier mic, wired lavalier mic, but that will definitely help block out the wind, get something like that. Nobody wants to hear wind noise when you're out on the trail, and it's gonna be windy. No matter what trail you're gonna go on, you're gonna get some wind at some point, and nobody wants to listen to wind noise. Like, oh my God, look how beautiful it is. Such a beautiful day. Nobody wants to listen to that. I mean, even if you're like covering the wind with your hand, like I've done that before in previous videos, knowing that it's windy, I'm like, ah, shit, try to block this wind real quick. Like, that's better than listening to wind noise. Another tip here is to think about how you title your videos. Numbering your videos with a short title after the number is the way I did it on my PCT hike, and I think that's the best way to go about it. I think I did it a little differently on the AT, but for people that are going to be following along, if you have it numbered with just like a short title, I think that's the best way to go about it. But just think about that before you start, you know, uploading, you know, episode 1. Another tip, organize your footage when you're on the trail. This will help immensely when you get around to editing it. Honestly, I think half of good editing is good organization. Keep notes on your phone on what video you shot and where you were when you shot it, and then kind of organize that with the file name of the video, so that way you can organize it on your computer when you're done. And actually, on my first through hike, gut hooks wasn't really a thing. Gut hooks, also known as far out, it wasn't really a thing in 2015. I think some people were using it, but I definitely wasn't using it. So I used a guidebook called AWOL's Guide. And actually in my guidebook, my AWOL's Guide, I wrote notes for like, I shot a really cool video here, or I just kind of left notes like that in my guidebook. And then when I went to edit my video after the hike, it turned out to be a really helpful tool for organizing my videos. Definitely check out next week's video where I'm going to talk more about how I organize all my footage. Another recommendation here is to just be you. Sounds kind of funny to say it that way, but I think when it comes to making videos, it can take some time to like find your voice. I feel like I'm rolling on almost 300 videos on this channel, and I still kind of feel like I struggle with this a little bit, just sort of, you know, coming up with, you know, just being myself on camera can sometimes be difficult, or kind of warming up. Like even starting this video, I'm a little tense, but it just, man, just be you. When you're gonna create videos, just be you. Just be true to who you are. I think authenticity goes a long way, especially in the fake world of social media. I'm not trying to fake my voice. It's one thing, like, I don't have a very deep, manly voice, so I'm not trying to fake my voice. Also just got over COVID. Set boundaries with your videos and stop doing it if you don't like it anymore. Like, making videos can be a lot of work, and I've had to take breaks from YouTube, and there's no shame in having to take a break. If you're releasing videos from the trail and it seems like the process of creating the videos is taking away from your through hike, you should step back and think about whether or not the videos are worth your time. If you don't establish boundaries with making videos, it's going to end up feeling like going to a job that you don't want to go to. You're going to have to discover how to find that balance with your videos, and you need to realize that that might take some time. All right, other things to think about. Leave no trace concerns. If you're going on a through hike, you should be familiar with all 7 principles of leave no trace. And when it comes to making videos about your hike, there are leave no trace concerns that you should think about. For example, a lot of times you might walk off the trail and try to find a secluded spot to shoot your video. In terms of like leave no trace, consider your actions and how that sort of relates to leave no trace. So specifically the 3 principles that would interfere with would be like be considerate of other visitors, travel and camp on durable surfaces. You know, physically traveling off trail to go shoot a vlog is impacting that area more so than if you're just, you know, obviously if you're going off trail to go take a shit, obviously that's one thing that you have to do anyways. But now if you're going off trail again to go record your vlog, well, now you're impacting the trail and the wilderness area more so than you would be if you weren't shooting vlogs. Also, respecting wildlife, you're kind of, with that principle of leave no trace, you're, you know, you're going off trail and you're affecting this area, making noise and disturbing the habitat in other ways by recording your vlog. So I guess I just want to bring these up because I am a follower of leave no trace. I do enjoy thinking about the principles a lot. And I know a lot of people on trail will roll their eyes at leave no trace, but I think they're really important. And some people on trail will roll their eyes, I should say, not a lot of people. Most people, once they learn about them, I think a lot of people respect them. I don't know, I could probably make a whole video on leave no trace, and maybe I will at some point in the future, but yeah, definitely I wish more people would talk about them more on trail and think about them more. Especially as more and more people use these long trails, it's definitely a good topic of conversation, in my opinion. Another thing on this point is that you might be sharing a lesser known location with a large audience, and potentially your video could be responsible for making a certain location, you know, blow up, as they say. You know, if it becomes the next big place for Instagram people or whoever to go and take pictures for, then that area might not be ready to see that kind of use. You know, think of like what happened to Max Patch in North Carolina. I mean, these are all just things that I think you should be thinking about if you're going to be making videos from the trail. Ah, yes, the old being on a phone controversy. It seemed like to me this was more of an issue in 2015 on the Appalachian Trail than as compared to 2021 when I did the PCT, or when I tried to do the PCT. And maybe that's just because of the popularity of certain trail apps, you know, like All Trails or Gut Hooks, also known now as Far Out. But I think in 2015 these trail apps weren't as big of a thing, and maybe they could see them on the horizon, and that's why it was such a debate in 2015, because we could see that, oh my God, in the trails everybody's going to be on their phones in the future. But now looking at your cell phone in the backcountry has unfortunately been pretty normalized. I mean, at least in my opinion. Not just because of the apps, but also because of two-way communication devices like the Garmin InReach. It kind of gives people more of a reason to be on their phone for navigation or texting. Yeah, these are just things to think about. I don't want to kick a dead horse here, you know what I mean? But if you go up on a mountaintop and you see somebody else on their phone, does that bother you? Personally, doesn't really bother me, but I know that it might bother some other people. And also, when I'm on top of a mountain, I don't want to spend too much time on my phone. Like, I really try to minimize that. But if you're using your phone for navigation, or maybe there's an emergency going on back home and you're using your Garmin to text back and forth, you know, that's just the world that we live in. It doesn't really bother me, but I also, you know, we should also respect that a lot of people go out into the wilderness to get away from technology. And some people go out into the wilderness because they like to interact with strangers and that they meet in the wilderness. And if somebody's just sitting on their phone the whole time, it is kind of like, how can I say this? I don't know. I'm just trying to respect the 7th principle of leave no trace, you know, that be considerate of other visitors. If everybody's out on the beautiful view at the top of the mountain and they're all just talking on their phones, that's a lot more noise than if they were just talking amongst themselves. Probably. Yeah, and it's just like kind of the world that we're creating. Like, you go anywhere nowadays and everybody's just on their phones. And it's kind of like an old person argument that you hear that old people arguing that all the time. They'll like, oh, these young kids, all they're doing is on their phones. But let me just tell you this. I've seen plenty of older people that are also very much addicted to their phones as well. And that's one of the things that makes the backcountry so special, in my opinion, is that it's sort of seen as a place where we can all disconnect from the real world and just communicate amongst one another. You know, talking with strangers. Is that such a crazy idea in this world now? Just talking with a stranger? And yeah, I guess it does seem kind of ironic that I'm making a video that has tips about how to make videos on a thru hike, but I'm also suggesting that you put your fucking phone down and just visit and talk with some of the awesome people that you're gonna meet out there. So yeah, I think it's important to find a balance here, take some time to be in the moment, talk with other peoples. You know, you don't have to just be buried in your phone just because you're making vlogs on the trail. And yeah, just kind of be loosely aware of this controversy, if it even is one. I'm not even really sure if it is one anymore. But yeah, phones on the trail. Be aware. Another thing to think about is filming people you're with. Should obviously get their permission before you just start filming somebody. Some people just don't want anything to do with technology when they're out on the trail. Some people I've experienced that they really roll their eyes at vloggers, and they really will make fun of vloggers on the trail, especially amongst the thru hiking community. So just be aware of that and respect them for their opinion. You know, people are allowed to have their own opinion.
You know, that's just like your opinion, man.
But yeah, man, people use nature to escape from that world that we've created. So I think that that's totally fine, but just, yeah, definitely something to think about is filming people you're with. All right, last thing I'm going to talk about here is just how much are you willing to share online and to what depth? You're going to go through a lot of emotions on the trail, and you should kind of think about what you're willing to share before you start uploading videos. Again, there's no right or wrong way to make videos, and if you just want to share the times when things are great, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And really, the thing about social media is that you're always getting a packaged view of what someone's like anyways. Even if you try your hardest to document the reality of a thru hike, it's just not possible to actually convey what it's like. YouTube and social media in general is all fake shit. This is not reality. But making videos can be a very powerful tool. It can be used to convey a very organized thought, an idea, or it can be used to highlight an experience such as a thru hike. In my opinion, making videos is a great way to document your thru hike and share all of what you've learned on your journey. I don't think that we fully understand just how powerful this medium is. We're living in a communication revolution right now, and sharing your experience and all the things that you've learned on a thru hike, in my opinion, is a worthwhile thing to pursue. So that's going to be it for this video. I'm going to get into more of the technical aspects of how I was able to make my videos in the next episode. And yeah, I hope this one was helpful to someone out there who's also looking to make videos. So best of luck out there, and thanks for watching. Listen to these birds.